Robbie Williams was born in February 1974 in Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire, England. After selling millions of records with boy band Take That, Robbie jumped ship and started his solo career with a cover of George Michael's Freedom. From this misfire, one of the most remarkable careers in pop music began. Already a household name in the UK, it wasn't until 2001 with the hit singles Rock DJ and Better Man that Robbie struck a real chord in the hearts of Australians. Since then, he's gone on to sell almost 40 million albums worldwide and has collaborated with our own Kylie and Nicole Kidman. Last year saw him play to an astonishing 200,000 people in 4 concerts in Australia alone. Many things were expected of Robbie Williams when he abruptly left Take That in early 1995. When a boy leaves a boy band, experience warns us not to expect too much. Would he stagger drunkenly from party to party, girl to girl, drug to drug? Would he present downmarket TV shows, trading the embers of his boy band celebrity for cash? Would he waste months finding then ridding himself of unsuitable managers? Would he lose himself in an aimless bender, the kind that might last long enough to obscure whether he had squandered his talents or had no true talents to squander? All of these he did, and as he did so, any wild notion that he might be responsible for some of the most memorable, personal and remarkable songs of the next 9 years seemed less and less likely. The lazy karaoke of his first solo single certainly offered few clues.
My management at the time said it would be a good idea for me to do Freedom by George Michael, and I kind of liked the song. And also in my head I was thinking, well, this gets them off my back for a little while. If I do this, then I can be left to my own devices, you know, going mental and frittering away the money I'd earned from Take That and various drinking holes. Freedom wasn't an ideal start, but I wasn't in an ideal position mentally or physically at the time. You know, I was the size of a small aircraft hangar. I was out every night, and I wasn't very concentrated on my career, let's just say. It's really sad, you know, it's not big or clever. But I remember that the video shoot started at 7, and I was in my room off my face, and it's 6:30. You know, completely sky high. And I drank the top row of the minibar, one after another, these little miniatures, and then went out to record the first bit of the video, which is me in the sunglasses in the alleyway. And needless to say, we only managed to get through about 3 or 4 hours before I collapsed and had to go back to the hotel and sleep it off. The song itself, Freedom, my version, hadn't been recorded. So we were actually miming to George Michael's version when we were doing the video.
And so on. He knew Freedom wasn't good enough, though it was a big hit. He has never performed it since. It doesn't appear on his greatest hits album. It has been written out of his history. In a sense, the career he wanted only began on the day he met an unsuccessful songwriter, Guy Chambers.
I think the thing that worked with myself and Guy writing songs together was desperation. Guy's roof leaked, and he was just about to quit trying to be a songwriter or trying to be in a band and become a music teacher. And I was desperate too, you know. I was reaching that stage where if I didn't release a single soon, one of my own, that I'd promised myself that I would leave Take That, from the restrictions of Take That, and become this artist. You know, that if I didn't do it soon, people would forget about me and it'd be too late. You got dust on your knees, you're evil Knievel. The two of us worked together because Guy's a genius, musically, you know, and my melodies and lyrics people related to. But desperation was the thing that brought us together. Desperation made it work, that and fate.
Dust on your needle, now you think that you're a rebel, you're evil Knievel. Get down and pray.
There was lots of standing on mixing desks, hands aloft, listening to the songs being played back, just reveling in the glory of, you know, a career taking place. Yeah. to really love music. I was excited that I was beginning to grasp an understanding for how songs were made. And I was excited, really excited, that maybe I could be part of or construct an album or a song that people would love. There was nothing else that I wanted to do. I didn't want to be an actor when I left Take That. And I didn't want to be a presenter. You know, I wanted to be an international pop star. The first tour that we did, me as a solo artist, was just guesswork, the way to conduct yourself on a stage and hold a crowd, you know, and have the crowd respond to you, and certain tricks that you learned. It was all an amazing journey of discovery.
Ready, and playback.
Because I was in a band called Take That, and they sold 33,000 copies of an album in 33 seconds. I'd released 3 singles and an album, and the album had sold 33,000 copies in 3 months. And I was on the verge of being dropped. And then Angels came out, and 6 albums later, I'm still here. So without Angels, I wouldn't have a career. There's certain songs that define the person, or certain songs that define the artist. And I think Angels is definitely what you think about when you think of Robbie Williams. It's just that part in the show now, Angels, is where they're gonna sing their loudest back at me, and I'm gonna listen to them sing it. I know that every time the song happens, it never gets boring. And it's always a highlight of the show for me. Not only because it's the last song of the evening and I'm getting off after, but, you know, for me, it's a very spiritual song. There's another thing about Angels that I've never spoken about before, and that is that one day I was around my sisters, and she writes poetry, as does my mum too. In one of her poems it said, "And as the feeling grows, she breathes flesh to my bones." And I thought, thank you very much, I'll have that. And it's my favourite line in the song. That's accredited to Sally Williams. Thank you very much, Sal. Just let you know it's not mine, it's my sister's.
By March 1998, Life Thru a Lens had reached #1, and Robbie had found the key to the dressing up box.
Let Me Entertain You came about, actually. We were around Guy's house and we were watching the Rock and Roll Circus with the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And we were quite inspired. We went upstairs and wrote the Who-esque song. I'm really proud of the video. Let Me Entertain You was the best video I've ever done, I think. The lyric on it's actually ludicrous. And I hated it for a while, but now I'm quite fond of it. I don't think it's cool to do an awful lot of what I do. You know, and I think that people are scared to look a fool. I think a lot of people look really good. You know, I think a lot of people dance really well, but I think an awful lot of people lack the ability to engage with their audience. You know, I can understand how people could view my act as being pantomime or as being over the top or too theatrical or too flamboyant. But whatever it is that I do, people look at.